just didn't eat.
Facts.
My mom wasn't making too much.
More light, everybody.
Facts.
Thank you for tapping into another episode of Unbiased Opinions. I'm your host, the spiritual wanderer Suave.
Yo, what's good, man? It's your boy Snoopy D.O. Dub.
Yo, what up? I'm back. Lenon. Back, baby.
Guess I'm back too.
back from the COVID.
It's your boy 3, man.
Back from the COVID.
Yeah, you was
the
out from COVID. I forgot about that.
Down and out.
It's called the COVID.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
The COVID.
I feel like we got some controversial topics that we're all going to have. Well, I feel we might have difference of opinion on. I guess we can jump into the first one that I feel. Recently with like the whole Ye situation, I've been hearing people say like stuff about what he's been doing, like all his actions, and people that are close to him been like, oh yeah, my friend, he's my friend though, this and that, stuff like that. But then today, what really got me and made me think that this was a good topic was I was watching a video and the dude was talking about something that his friend did publicly and why he was lashing out at everybody in defense of his friend. And he was like, I know that he did wrong, but I'm gonna ride for my friend no matter what. So that just made me think, do you think it's right to correct your friends in private or public?
You asking me?
I'm asking the crowd.
Spoke up first. You spoke up first. You got to go
I smacked my lips. I smacked my
Yeah,
lips.
you did.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I already,
why I was like,
He was like, that's a tough one.
Yeah, sheesh. I mean, it all depends on. I think it all depends on what it. I don't know. Shit. Private.
I'm gonna say
Public?
private, but I am not ever going to side privately or publicly if he's wrong. Like I'm not getting.
That's what I'm saying. Because if you don't side with him, he gonna look at you like, what then?
I'm not siding with you though.
Then you
Like,
got to correct him at that point. Well,
we'll talk about it later though. Like we could do that. But like if you go ask my opinion publicly, I'm just nah.
you ain't gonna say nothing.
I'm tell
So
you,
you'll let like the conversations say potentially that the friend sparked occur, and you won't necessarily get involved unless he asks your opinion. Like, hey, am I tripping?
Yeah.
And then you like,
I'm gonna just let him do his shit.
Yeah.
Because like you never know. Like I've been in situations where like the homies is tripping with somebody when we out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, bro, what is you on? But you already know the type of friends that you have. Sometime when niggas is up,
They up.
it's just up. Like
Yeah.
you not gonna calm them down. Like relax, that shit's not working.
Right.
I was one of them friends.
Yeah, that shit gonna charge you up actually.
Yeah.
So
and with you too now.
So what if your friend or somebody does ask you like what you thought of the situation and they are wrong?
Till
Like,
you dead ass wrong. And you was dead ass wrong for that shit you pulled.
Right.
Even if I end up like if a fight, end up breaking out, and I'm gonna fight with you, 'cause I'm not gonna let my nigga get packed out. But after the fact, we for sure gotta,
Yeah.
bro, that was some bullshit.
Yeah.
Like that, what you did was some bullshit. I'm not fucking with you if you gonna be doing that.
Right.
Like I can't go out with you because I be going out to have a good time, and it seemed like you want to go out to trip.
Right.
Like you be finding little weird shit to trip about when we outside.
Yeah. We out here trying to get on bitches.
You
Here you go
cannot
staring
do
at
that.
niggas.
I don't
What's wrong
understand. I
with
don't
you,
understand those dudes.
Either.
that's what makes me wonder. Like, what's the threshold of like not wanting to be that person's friend no more because that's how they on whenever y'all hang out?
Not want to be the person's friend and not want to be out with a person is different.
It's different, right?
Is it?
I know exactly where to be with certain niggas. I know where not to be with certain
We
niggas.
finna hit the club. All right, I'm good.
But you'll let them. But
Pull
you'll
up.
kick it with them at
a
a
little
Domino's
small lounge,
barbecue
yeah.
or some shit.
For sure.
Yeah, I'll be there.
I got
Yeah.
plenty of friends that I know where to do what, and like even when it comes to like company, bringing people around certain people, I know exactly which friends not to take around certain group of people.
Right.
Because like some people just don't have like
Yeah, like a filter.
that's just not cool.
But doesn't that create also like a potentially rift between y'all two because they feel like, oh well, why wasn't I invited to
But I'm
this?
gonna tell them no.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do it.
I guess
behind
it's
the
good
scenes.
that you're transparent with it. Me. In my case, I'm more so like, I don't know, if I can't trust somebody in a certain situation, I don't think I want to be around them for much.
But why not though?
Cause if you can't really carry yourself in a manner in which I feel like won't be thrown into something that potentially gets me in trouble. It ain't no telling. Hey, I'm bringing over a couple coworkers y'all never met before to this barbecue that we normally do.
Yeah.
And then it, you know,
Then
it just never know.
Stupid
But that's why
happen.
that's what I'm saying. You pick and choose though. Where those friends, like, where you involve them or don't involve them. in
Yeah.
that. So like, what if that's a good friend you grew up with? Y'all got a lot of stuff in common. You feel me? Like y'all play the same video games, all kind of stuff. Just because you don't want to have them, you know, messing up XYZ, you just gonna stop dealing with them altogether.
Well, I think just this last part. I think like in those like playing video games, you ain't got to come over and do that. we could do that online, you know, like, or we had a session or something.
But they good
Hey.
with you in person. Like they good with you.
So what your thing is, like, you don't want to have to change who you are or like the people you want to bring around for this one person.
Yeah, I don't like the hey, they are what they are, and just in this certain instance, they could be that, but everything else, you know, I'd rather be like, okay, your energy is something that I can't really trust.
Yeah.
So we gonna take a step back. But if I see you somewhere, yo, what's good and shit like that. But I'm not someone who's just gonna keep like, okay, well, we can't go to the hookah lounge together, but I could bring you over to my daughter's birthday, and you know, like.
But then I gotta wait. Who am I inviting to my daughter's birthday?
Yeah, I don't like doing all that. I'd rather just be like, your energy's a little off. We gonna leave it there.
That's why I didn't know what to say, because I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nah,
That's
you
why I
good.
didn't know what to say, because I was like, it's circumstance based.
It's
when you
situational.
want to when you want to correct somebody, when you don't want to correct them in a sense. Because if they all the way wrong, then you might want to be like, hey, bro, stop. That's crazy what you on right now. That's crazy.
I kind of agree with Trey a little bit on it. I feel like if they're wrong and you don't feel like you don't want to say something because you close, then don't say anything. But if you know they're wrong and somebody asks you, then you got to be honest and be truthful and be like, yo,
Yeah,
you out here messing up. Or you know when your friend hits you with the hey, am I wrong? Yeah, you gotta,
wrong, bro.
Yep.
Yeah,
But that's what we talk about this probably weekly, bro. Transparency.
Mm-hmm.
And
right.
I don't know, because like what we talking about is not always bad energy.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my friends are just overly transparent all the time. Like I'm transparent, but like not to the point where I would make other people uncomfortable
Yeah.
intentionally. I know people in the world who literally just say everything. And you like, bro, for real? Like, why you like you don't even know them. Like these are my friends. I'm bringing you around.
yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, why would you? It is not like malicious,
Yeah.
but still like,
yeah.
nigga.
It's just being too blunt,
Like,
almost.
come
like,
on,
yeah,
dude. Like
you don't know these people. You being a little too blunt.
Right.
like work. You take somebody to like a work get together, or you having coworkers come through to kick it. It's just certain friends, you know, like this nigga just be talking. He just be saying wild shit, man. Like he not a bad person,
Yeah.
but he just be saying wild shit. He
Off
like
the wall ass shit.
your sense of humor a little crazy. Like, I can deal with it,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not about to have my coworkers like this with you.
Bro, I never forget. I had a coworker in LA when I was living in LA. I had a couple. Obviously, I had some friends out there, but that wasn't at my job. But this dude seemed chill at work, and it was like, "Hey, we going to City Walk tonight. We're gonna go to Saddle Ranch. We gonna kick it a little bit. There's like a music thing going on." And some of the people I did music with, one of them was gay, and he got in the car and he ain't read the room, I guess, or something. And so he was just like, gay this, gay that. And they was like totally done with him. And so it was just like super awkward the rest of it. So it kind of, I guess it is just circumstantial, like he still was a pretty cool dude, but he kind of ruined that whole
But see, and
vibe.
then you have that. I despise people who can't read the room.
Yeah.
It's one of my pet peeves. I swear, bro, I'd be like,
yeah.
there's no way you do not understand.
He
What's
say something, you
happening
just
right
gotta
now.
look at him like, you don't know.
Like, look, just come on, dude. Try a little bit. Just try a little bit.
You know what makes it bad though is when you're the person who brings that person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Everybody looking at you. You looking at them like,
Yeah, they're like, who is this? Where did you find this person?
Everybody gives you that look.
you picked them up on the street, brought them here, and didn't tell them what was going on.
And it's a look that everybody understands too. Like as soon as you get that look, like your friends look at you, they're like,
I stopped making eye
who
contact.
is this?
I stopped making eye
Gotta
contact.
look down.
Yeah. They look at me. I just be with my phone.
Yeah. What I gotta do?
That's the toughest thing though with like making friends at work, cause you really don't know them till it's out of
till
work.
you out of work, yeah.
And so, hey, what you got going on this weekend? Oh, I know I'm gonna go kick it with my boys and shit. Hey, like I ain't doing shit this week. Hey, this dude seem pretty cool. Come over. Then he come over. He start tripping off
Just on some weirdo
after
shit.
taking
Doing-
a couple sips of Hennessy and
doing
shit. You like,
Bro,
who is this?
It's crazy.
Pull out a
Yeah.
needle.
Doing coke right in front of me.
Right?
My coworker,
Bro,
my
that
coworker
happened to me
did that
too.
to me, bro.
That happened to me too. That's funny,
My
bro.
coworker did that. They invited me out, and I've been at my job for almost 10 years, 9 years. I don't talk to nobody there.
Yeah.
Like it's people there who I get like Uber shit delivered to me, and they tell them flat out, "Oh, we don't have nobody who work here by that name." And I walk up and I'm like, oh,
Right.
but so they invited me out.
I need to try incognito at work.
Bro, no, for real.
Don't even know he worked there.
Last week before my vacation, I was talking to
They said
one
Trey
coworker
Daniel.
I talked to, and a salesman walked up. He was like, "Man, I have never heard your voice." Bro, he been at my job 13 years, and I was literally talking to my coworker
crazy.
about not talking to nobody at work.
Yeah.
And bro was like, "Yeah, I don't see you talking to nobody but me." I was like, "Well, you the only person here I got something in common with. It's a nigga. Like he's
Yeah.
but he a nigga there. Like he from LA, like
Yeah.
the city. So everybody else, Hispanic, white, but like not like nigga Hispanic. white.
Right.
So I have no desire to talk to anybody on top of me not having to. I don't have that kind of job. Like I go in and do my work
Go on, right.
and that's it. But these niggas invited me out and shit went bad. Me and him got in the car. He was driving and it just
Damn.
while he was driving. And I looked.
Hell no.
I said, "Yo, pull over." He's like, "You don't want to go home?" I was like,
You want to go home?
I do, but
Nah,
not
I
I
you.
do want to go home.
"Nah, I just want to get out the car."
I do want to go home. That's why I'm
He was
getting
like,
out.
he's like, "Are you okay?" And like he had no idea why I wanted to get out the car.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, "Yo, just." I don't even understand why you felt like we was that. You know what I'm saying? Like we
You know-
not
you
that,
know what,
bruh.
though?
Like for you
Yeah.
just like
You-
right on the finger.
You know what's crazy? And this is like
Kept
a side,
driving.
This is like a side note though, because a lot of people fuck with that shit now.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I mean?
Recreationally, like
Yeah.
weed.
Yeah, recreation.
Just like party shit.
Like I remember I was at the party with some homies and I'm chilling. They smoking and shit. I'm like, yeah, man, I ain't seen y'all in a minute. And they're like, yeah. Then they said, y'all want some? Everybody. I was like,
This real.
It is.
and now you looking like,
Do I
bro. You don't want to ask, but you're like, hey, did y'all put something in here?
Like, what's going on?
It's just so recreational now. So he probably was
I don't
like,
think it's now though. I just think
No,
it
no.
hasn't been for us.
yeah, exactly for us,
Like the company we keep.
right?
But I feel like Coke has always been a party
yeah.
thing.
Oh, it
Like
is.
for
Yeah, for
like
sure.
since we were kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
We weren't around
exposed to it. For
it.
sure.
So like
Yeah.
him, my coworker, bro, he did it right next to me. Like it was like he just pulled a blunt out
while
and hit it.
Yeah, while he's driving a car. I feel like that's so dangerous,
Bro, with no,
is.
I'm telling you, nigga, with his knee, driving with his
Yeah.
knee, got his little thing,
Yeah.
popped it.
He does that before he comes to work,
Bro,
bro.
he cleaned it, and I was like, "Hey, pull over."
He does that before he comes to work.
Bro was like, but they said that.
Yeah, I bet.
Multiple of them. Like I have several coworkers
Mm-hmm.
who like got on board with, "Oh yeah, we."
Yeah, everybody up there. You see them niggas over there in the back of the garage?
That's
Hey,
wild.
what y'all doing? Niggas over there. All right, let's go ahead and swap out this alternator.
Tooting that nose up, bro.
Tooting it up. Yeah, that's what it is.
It's crazy
though.
because you never know a person. No matter how much you kick it with them at work, you never know who they truly are.
Man.
Yeah.
Because I had a coworker that I chill with outside of work, and it was probably one of the worst experiences of my life.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because I was like, they hit me up. They was like, yeah, we about to go chill. We about to go to a little kickback. We went to like the kick. We didn't even get to the kickback. That's how bad it was. Like as soon as I went to like pick dude up, I pick him up. He was already like drinking, so he's like wilding out, and he's like drunk in the car, and I'm just chilling like, dang, this dude's a little too drunk. Like maybe this is like too much,
Yeah.
We around the corner from my homie's house, and this nigga's like, oh, I'll pull over, right? I pull over. This nigga like starts throwing up, and then he just starts like rolling on the ground, like in the middle of the street and stuff. And I'm like, what's
No.
going on here? Like,
Way.
and then this was the worst part is a cop is coming literally down the street. And I'm in the middle of the road. My door's open. He's rolling on the ground. I'm like, yo, get in the car. There's a cop coming. This nigga's still doing it, right? So then the cop sees and whoop, comes behind us. He's checking out. He realizes he's drunk. He's like, you been drinking. It's been this whole thing. I'm like, yo, this is wild right now. Yeah, I had to have my homie come and pick me up. I couldn't even drive my car because I was drinking a little bit. Yeah.
Was you like over the limit?
No, I wasn't over the limit, but he was like, since you've been drinking, you gotta.
Oh, shit.
I was like, this is wild.
I'd have said, sir, let me tell you something.
I'm leaving you, buddy.
Yeah,
I'd have said, sir, let me tell you something. I just want you to call the paramedics for this gentleman here. I just met him at work a couple days ago, and
that's what I told him. Now I was like, this is my coworker. This is my first time chilling with him. I was like,
yeah, I don't know
like,
what's going on with him.
You're getting thrown under the bus because I ain't going down for you.
You was gonna be under the bus when you was rolling in the street.
Yeah.
When I seen the officer coming,
yeah,
I'm in the wind.
Yeah. So they let you, but so he let you go?
Yeah, he let me go.
And you told him like you drank a little?
Because what the wild part is like when the cop came and he's like checking us, this dude was wilding out in front of the cop. That's why the cop let me go. He took him, but he let me go because he was like wilding out. He's tripping out. He's like yelling at the cop, and I'm like, yo. I'm telling him like, chill. And he's just like yelling at the cop. He's tripping, and the cop's like, yo. Nothing. So I'm just like,
hey, excuse me.
I wouldn't say one thing to
yeah, the cop was like, since you've been calm, if so you can call somebody, you could go.
That's cool though.
Yeah, I was like, all right.
Because he could have for sure.
Wait, what could he have done?
If he said he drank a little, he could be a dick and just say, hey, we going to take you in for DUI.
He was under the limit.
Yeah, I was under the limit.
That he breathalyzed you?
He didn't breathalyze me.
No, I'm saying, but he could have made it hell for you, though.
But he could
have. Once you say, because they tell you, bro, even if you have one beer, you do not tell a cop. Because they could just be dicks and be like, okay, well then we're gonna take you in.
Even if you go and they do that breathalyzer thing, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but you're still there for the night though.
I mean,
he's still annoying.
He knew just because he was like
sued at that point.
Yeah, I mean, but then that's another year to figure that out. Like, just get me out of here, bro.
I'm getting the check.
He knew because like when you drink a lot, your eyes are glossy when you start drinking. So he was like, I can tell you've been drinking. So I was like, all right, I can't lie about it.
So
I had a drink.
Just a glossy eyed nigga.
So was he like a new employee or someone that you knew for a while at work?
It's somebody that I was kicking it with at work for a good amount of time. Like when we was at work, we'll kick it. Like, I would chill, like we'll chop it up. And I was like, oh, you cool. But yeah, we wasn't
y'all
like
not kicking it.
Yeah.
Y'all forced
so this was your first time ever kicking it.
Yeah. It was our first time kicking it outside of work.
That's
and
crazy.
I was like, this is the
nigga was rolling in the street,
worst experience. Yeah. Like when cause it's crazy because when you see somebody at work, like I said, that's why you never know. Cause like he wasn't a type of dude that looked like he was on weird stuff. Like
yeah.
It just looked like he was like, he would talk about like regular nigga stuff. So I'm like, oh, okay.
That's how they all live.
But then like when it was like outside in public, I'm like, dude, rolling in the street.
I think a lot of people really, not a lot of, but there is quite a majority of people who don't know how to handle liquor or things of that sort. So like,
do you judge them?
I get annoyed by people who can't really.
Yeah, me too.
Like I feel like I'm fun when I'm drunk, but I hate people who like too overbearing,
belligerent
and shit like that. And there's times where I'm probably talking shit and stuff like that.
Hella loud and shit.
Yeah, hella loud. But for like the person who like says like racist shit or stuff like, it's like, bro,
I appreciate.
I am not gonna blame tequila on this.
I appreciate
that. Truth came out.
Yeah,
Boy, alcohol, any drug, any attitude, anything that gets you to start doing something that you be like, that's not me. I'd be like, yes, the fuck it is.
That's all the way.
You could not hide it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what happened. So we're not about to act like alcohol turned you into something. Mm-hmm. It actually just took that motherfucking barrier off.
Yeah, it makes you comfortable.
And now you out here in public.
Yeah.
Being who you really want to be.
Yeah.
And I see you.
Now you in those Call of Duty lobbies.
And I see you, buddy.
Hey, how was the conversation when you got back to work then? You seen him?
Well, I didn't see him the next day.
Because he was in jail or what?
I don't know what happened. He wasn't on the thing. But no, when I seen him back at work, I was like, what happened? I was like, what happened? He was like, oh, I was just a little too drunk. I was getting wild. And I was like, but why was you talking to the cops like that? Like,
why was you rolling on the ground?
I was like, there's no point. He was like, oh no, it was just a little too much. It was just a little bit too much to drink or whatever. And I was like,
so he didn't apologize or shit or nothing?
No.
Damn.
Yeah, we ain't never. I don't even talk to him at work no more.
No, sir. Scoot over.
Yeah.
Scoot over. Sit on that.
No,
shit.
but
Back
it does.
up, bucko.
Yeah, it changes
Every
your
time.
friendship. Like
does.
the work relationship. Because now I'm at work and I'm like, man, if you ask me to get anything after work, don't even ask me. Don't even talk to me at work. You know what I mean? Like,
no
Yeah.
lunch, no.
You can't come down and
Yeah.
ask for shit. Hey, I need these. Hey,
Yeah.
hey.
Bad look.
Go back up there and send the email, bro. Don't come down here talking to me.
you know, it's
Go
real.
upstairs.
You
Move
want
around.
it, well,
Yeah.
you want the email? That's real.
Yeah, I
right
need,
there.
go ahead,
Like,
email
yeah.
me, man. Don't come down here talking to me, bro.
I am me on the work.
Yeah, on the work website, I am me, bro.
No,
I don't wanna
he
talk
walk in that next day. He like, hey, I just wanted you turn around, give him your business card. You get back to typing.
Ain't no way.
to you. No way.
Ain't no fucking
That's
way.
crazy, though, man.
Yeah,
I
it's
just-
wild.
Rolling on the floor, though, like how do you blame alcohol for you being in the street rolling on the floor?
Now I know people who totally change after 2 shots of tequila. Bro.
Yeah, there are some lightweights out there that
Yeah.
really cannot that shouldn't drink.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
That's
fine,
true.
fine.
That's true.
You,
That
you
shouldn't
get fucked
drink.
up, you can't walk right and all that great shit. But rolling in the middle of the street,
That's how I
It
get.
don't, it don't
Suave.
surprise me.
like barrel roll or like stop dropping roll.
Bro, it would stop dropping, bro. I'm talking
See,
about
but
like
that's cra- you
land and then.
First of all, Snoop, do you know the
that
effort that you have to
whole
do in order to
situation.
roll over that way?
Hey,
He was probably looking for attention.
Hey, did he
bro.
roll in the vomit?
No.
I'm about to say that.
Like he
nigga's
threw
really
up like outside the car, and then when he like stumbled over, and then like he was yelling and
Yeah, he was
stuff.
on
Like
fire.
yeah, and after he was like yelling, like when he first started yelling, I was looking over and I was like what?
So wait,
I was confused.
he
'cause
threw
I'm
up,
like,
got out the car, then he started yelling.
Yeah, he started yelling. So
Then he
after
got on the ground and started rolling.
and then he got
that
on the
shit
ground and started
crazy.
rolling. Like I thought I was witnessing somebody going crazy. I was like, he manic or
Yeah,
he
that,
like
that might be something else. He was
Yeah, I
on something
said-
else.
No, I think
I don't.
when people are lightweights and they go out like this, it might have been like a earlier stage in his going out experience. Was he younger?
yeah,
Yeah,
he was
and that's
younger
how
for
I
sure.
don't. He probably just didn't know how to handle
And you
shit,
think he
and then
just wanted
wanted
some kind of attention or
for
something?
sure. People be wanting attention. Like when they drink, they get comfortable. They like, hey, let's get some attention.
I agree though, because I definitely thought like the cops scene, like making the scene in front of the cops. I was like, oh, this dude must want attention. I
Yeah,
was
you
like,
like,
'cause
what's
I don't
going
think
on?
this
So
is
what was
cool
what was
at
he saying?
all.
Yeah.
What was he saying? Like
Like he was
trying
talking back to the cops, and then
like trying to
like
say the cop was on some racist shit or something like that.
not even on racist. He was just like talking
So
back.
you
like,
think I'm drinking?
yeah,
Like
that type
the
of jam.
fuck is you
Yeah, like they was
on?
like telling him like calm down and stuff. They was asking for his information. He didn't want to give it to him. So
Yeah,
that type
see,
stuff. And
I can't
then
fuck
when they
with that.
tried to arrest him, he was like, "No, get your hands off me." That
Oh,
type.
wow.
And I was like,
I'd have said, officer, can
This
I,
is
can I
wild.
please?
like, excuse me.
Can I please?
Can I get a moment with you real quick? Me and you.
"Yeah,
Please.
Yeah.
no," because that was my reaction though. Like I was trying to tell him to chill. I was like, "Yo," and I was like, "Chill out." And I was
I'd
like,
actually, I'd have put the cops to the side for real, for real. Look, man, he's on some other shit.
"No,
I do
You can do
not
whatever you wanna
know
do
this
with him.
nigga.
I'm just giving him a ride home.
Hey, if you need a statement from me,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
just let me
Oh,
know.
everything. I'm snitching. I honestly seen him taking pills. You might want to call his mother, put him in a holding tank for a day. I don't know. I was honestly just
This
trying
where
to
he
be
worked. This
I
where
was
he
trying to
worked.
be a good Samaritan. I was drinking, but it was a seltzer soda, so it wasn't really no hard alcohol. Like, bro, I just tried to get my way out of that.
Get
Take
his
him.
ass.
Take him.
yeah, whatever you
with
could do,
you.
take him." No, I did apologize to the cop. Though. I was like, "Yo, my bad." I was like, "I'm sorry for this."
Man, that's crazy.
That is
But
crazy.
yeah, I knew we was caught. Doors open, all that. I was like, "Yeah, it's a wrap."
I'd have jumped out and
Bro,
flagged the cop down.
What kind of street was you on, bro?
We was in the neighborhood. That was the craziest part.
He tried to get me. He tried to jump in my car. Yeah, he tried to jump in my car. Bro, what happened? I don't know. He tried to jump in my car. I said stop, and he just started rolling on the ground. Help me.
Bro, could you imagine being an officer looking at a nigga stop, dropping, and rolling with no fire?
Yeah, I know he thought we was like
Cruising
he was
through the
like, "What's
neighborhood,
going
and it's a
on?"
dude just
Some people be crazy, man.
like a tumbleweed. I was like, "This is crazy."
Bruh, it is not easy to roll over like that. Like that
In the street,
bruh, anywhere. That roll is not easy.
your shoulders hitting the ground.
Oh, flopping, bruh. Like
Did he ever like look at you? Like stop and look like, hey, like what are you doing? And he stopped and look at you, and then keep rolling.
Yo,
No, I think
He caught eye contact. If he kept eye contact with me, I'm leaving.
He did 3 rolls and stopped, look right at you. 3 rolls
he just
in.
rolled over and was like,
and it kept rolling. I'm out. I'm not fucking
no,
with
that's
that.
so fucking funny, bro.
I think he was in his own world. I was like, this nigga's not here anymore. That's what registered in my head. I was like, no, he's no longer here. He is gone.
But it just goes to show, man. Yeah, in those circumstances, you really don't know someone's true self. Cause, bro, I can't lie. Like, even when I go to work, I usually have like a different voice and shit. Like,
yeah.
that people not gonna know what I was bumping on the way into the office. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a little, hey, hello, yes, how are you doing today? Thank you for calling. You know.
Well, you probably work in that setting because I be at my work.
Yeah, I mean, security or something like that. It's the
Same exact person.
Yeah. And I think as you get older, it's to that point. But like when you first got a job straight out of high school and shit, you had to like, kind of straighten up a little bit. Excuse me.
Oh no, we was at Adventure Dome kicking it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's probably.
But
like
you was never like trying to be cool with people at Adventure Dome?
Yeah, but I mean, I was
It was
definitely
just
not on
chilling.
some,
Yeah. For me, I definitely have like a work
trying to hit everything
identity,
in that motherfucker.
a work identity, and like a personal identity for sure.
I think once I get comfortable, like when I first start work, I
Yeah.
try to put on that little, like, let me try to.
Like
Yeah,
you,
hey.
like you want to be.
How's it
here.
going?
Yeah,
wanna
like
be
you
here.
want to be here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
but
wanna
after
be here.
that, once you get comfortable, it's like, man, like
Only
I be
thing,
at work in my Crocs now. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
only thing I can say I change at work is like that laugh. You know that fake laugh you get
Yeah.
somebody. Almost Friday,
Boy.
like yeah.
Yeah, man. Oh, shut the fuck.
you don't even hide it no more. You just don't give it.
Do you
No,
have,
that's the only thing I still
you
have.
still do
Yeah,
it?
like I still
Oh,
give
yeah.
niggas the chuckle.
Do you have
I hate
people at
that
your
smile,
job
though.
that you tell one joke to, and that joke lasts for a lifetime?
Forever.
They come and tell you the same joke.
Forever.
Don't laugh at nothing.
Forever.
You laugh at one of their jokes, like a genuine laugh, and for the rest of your time working there,
So this is Blake did in my job, bro.
That's it.
He swear he a pimp. Everybody else hate when I come around because I be the only one talking to him. What's going on? Hey man, look, I had this girl up there.
You start laughing and shit.
I'm like, oh yeah, you did. Ha, that's great. Everybody's looking at me like,
this
shut
nigga,
the fuck up.
this nigga Snoop.
he only do it because of you.
Everybody be mad at me. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna talk to him because it's funny to me. It is kind of funny to me though.
It don't get old.
I kind of have like a sympathetic part of me too, though, where like I know that they,
Yeah,
they be going through it because they can't really, not many people laugh at their shit, so I'll be the one to laugh type.
Bro,
shit.
you know what I'm learning about you? You're such a good person.
I try to be.
I don't.
I try to be for sure.
But obviously, Trey, you got
because
you got coworkers.
But that's what I'm saying. I
been
can
working with you
appreciate.
for 10
I really
plus
do
years.
like listening to you talk. Like since we've been on this podcast, but like every time you say something, I'm like, man, this dude is a good dude.
Yeah.
Because I don't have that.
But that's why I don't fuck with people who have that bad energy and shit, because I do be trying to be so genuine, and then once it's fucked up, it's like, man, you over here trying to get over
I'm
on me,
just
bro.
genuine though. Like I'm not ever going to be the person to laugh at your shit because ain't nobody else laughing at your shit.
Yeah.
If you're not funny, you're just not funny.
Yeah.
I see.
I'm not giving that up.
I don't like awkward shit and stuff like
I'm
that.
good with that. It's gonna stop you from doing
I
that
get
shit.
through it. That's why I changed my personality at work too. It's like, hey, outside of work, we could turn up, but shit, when I'm here, hello, hey, good, great, fantastic, good to meet you.
I'm not doing that. I wouldn't even want to, bro. I can't. I
feel you, dude.
I'm just the same. Literally probably the same dude all the time. But that's because I don't view like the way I move as unprofessional.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like my choice of words might be different.
Yeah.
But literally the way I carry myself is how I don't give a fuck where I'm at.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like obviously less vulgar, something like that.
Right.
But like as far as like my voice changed or like my demeanor, I'm
Not
not
necessarily.
If I first of all, if I don't belong here being myself,
Yeah.
I ain't.
Yeah. That part.
Yeah,
I would hate to go to work every day and have to put on that mask every single
And I
day.
don't
but
blame
it's not really a mask
Yes,
in
it
a
is,
sense.
nigga.
See,
It's
but
more
I
so
get
like
it if you feel like that's like, cause like he said, like obviously he ain't going to work. Like, hey, what up, nigga? Like obviously he ain't doing that every day, but like he going to work. Hey, how you doing? What's going on?
yeah, that's all
He
I'm
being-
saying.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So
It's not like
But, I mean,
I'm
going to
kinda
work-
I'm kind of overselling it in the sense where I go to. Excuse me. I don't go in a suit and tie and shit like bro. I like
yeah.
there's a reason I met the friend who was into music. Like I had other coworkers, and there's a reason that the one who wanted to come to the music thing with me, we got cool.
Right.
But it just manifested into.
So you was different with him though than you was with the rest of the.
Like with my boss, I'm different with my boss than I am with
Why?
coworkers. Just because it's like, hey, why do they need to know that side of me?
You cool as fuck though.
Yeah, but it's no reason. I don't find a benefit in my boss knowing,
But your
who I
boss
am.
might be just as cool as you.
That's
and
not a
might
part of you
fuck
being
with you like
genuine?
that.
I don't want to see them at Gold Spike.
But
You
that's not a part of you
I
being
do.
genuine.
Huh?
That's not a part of you being genuine. Just like being yourself to your boss.
No, and I think I think it's circumstantial. I don't think that I'm in these. I think there's genuine things that I do with like my boss and shit like that. But it's just like I don't go into my relationship or my introduction with my boss thinking like I want to get to a point where we could be super cool and go get drinks together. Whereas like a new coworker come in, yo, what's good, bro? Like,
Yeah.
what you up to?
I shoot the shit with everybody. Like the same way I shoot the shit with my coworkers
Yeah.
is the same way like the higher ups, talking
Right.
about like the owner of the building,
Right.
the shop foreman, the shop manager. The same way I say what's happening to him when I see them and they say, hey, what's going on, Trey? What's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they know that of me.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm not like, what up, nigga?
Yeah.
You
Of
feel
course,
me?
of
I'm not
course.
doing that. But what I'm
course.
not doing is I'm not going to change like the way that I greet.
Yeah.
Just because but I would say that that's a part of being genuine. Like, especially you being you, bro. Like I just said it, you cool as fuck. I don't see the point where you would ever have to code switch or like, switch up something you do because you talking to a manager. I just don't think like you're not an ignorant ass person.
I just always been a blend in type
Like,
person.
over time, I would assume you would just eventually, build that relationship with your boss where you don't have to feel like you need to change or anything like.
Well,
oh,
I don't.
you can come to him and be like, oh yeah, man, I put a couple tickets in last night. I had some, you know what I mean? Like you can just shoot the shit besides talking about work.
I think it's some people like to for example, I like to separate my work life and home life, and I think that's kind of what he's doing in that sense. I don't think it's not him being him. I think he just has a separation from how he is at home to how he is at work. You know what I mean? He kind of removes like a lot of those properties.
I feel like I've always blended in. I knew how to read a room. I knew how to blend in. So like when I was in high school, I had best friends in high school that they never saw me at a crump session or nothing like. And then I had y'all at the crump session, who was my best friends at crump session. And they sort of integrated at times because then we had got comfortable, right? And you had met some of my family, had met some of my family, and I was able to hybridize that. But I remember a situation, bro. I was in high school. We went to the Suncoast to watch Fast and Furious or some shit. Me and my boys from high school walking down, and we walking up. And there's 4 or 5 dudes blooded out. And we walking up and you could see my boys like, damn, like, what's going to happen here? We walk up, oh shit, what's good, Chinky? I saw like Chinky and they like, what the fuck? How you know them? And so I just feel like I always been like a person who just was like, I could go with this crowd, I could go with that crowd.
Yeah.
I just knew. And
Do you have to change to do that?
Not necessarily. I think it's always that if people ask me like, hey, like, what's your interest here? Or, like I have common interests with these people, common interests with these people.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that instead of trying to be the bearer of combining everything, it was more so just like, hey, when we kicking it, and it's genuine. Yeah. When I'm kicking it with them, it's instead of like, hey, I want to introduce you here and introduce you here. It's like,
I feel like I'm the same way in a sense, but I feel like it's because I try to understand everybody and find common interests in there. Because like I find people interesting. So when I meet new people, it's always like, oh dang, that's what you into? That's crazy. You know what I mean? Oh, this is what you do. Sometimes it might be something I want to learn, or sometimes it might be we find a common interest just having conversation. But I feel like with that, it kind of helps me to blend in with different groups.
Did you have to code switch to blend in?
What do you mean?
When I hear blend in, like I can blend in, it kind of sounds like you can be, different based on who you are around. I can blend in without ever having to change shit. Like I can shoot it, like I can be in the hood and be straight the same way I can go to a work meeting.
Yeah.
And be straight. but I don't have to change who I am to do that. Not
Yeah.
saying you are just
Yeah,
just a
yeah.
question.
Because with me, I don't feel like I have to, because I have kind of like the same tone to me in general. It's like a chill vibe that just goes through. So it's just me being natural. I don't feel like I have to change anything. It's just me finding different interests that, like, maybe, for example, like I go to festivals and stuff like that, like EDC and stuff like that. Snoop don't do that. But it don't mean like I have to change like what I do around Snoop just because I go to festivals and he don't.
Facts.
You know, I'm still gonna be me, and he just knows that that's something that I do that he don't really mess with, or maybe he would do one time just to be like, oh yeah, let me see your world type thing, or not.
Same, because like
Yeah.
crump, we all do crump, but I've always had friends who just listening to y'all last week, you know, niggas be like, you still doing that shit? I'm just like, yeah,
Right.
but I won't be inviting you to no events.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I won't do. I can fuck with you when I'm doing the shit that me and you do, but clearly
I can't call
you have a lack of respect for like something that I'm passionate
Yeah.
about. So I will not be inviting your ass to nothing I got going on. It's so, like, I could be with the crump niggas and do the crump shit, and then I could be with you and do the shit we do, but I know what not to have you around.
Yeah.
Because clearly, you know, I hated that too. By the way, I was watching y'all talk about that. I hated that so much. That whole stigma of like being judged based on like, oh, that's shit old, but like, bro, everything is old at some point.
Right.
Y'all, that's the problem. Y'all just so heavy on like staying current that like y'all don't even have a joy in anything.
Yeah.
If it's played out, you're not fucking with it no more. If niggas not wearing it no more, you're not wearing it no more. If niggas not doing it no more, you're not doing it. That's shit corny.
Yeah.
At what point are you doing what you want to do?
That part.
Mm-hmm.
I was it shows how like authentic you were in that situation or in that era.
Oh, you still?
Yeah.
Yes, because I liked it then and I like it now. It didn't change. 15 years later.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's it for me when it comes to like blending in more so. I just always, and I don't know where it derives from, but I've always been more so the type who like wanted to understand culture. Like when how I was introduced to crump, like rise and those certain things. Okay, I want to find this out. Then some people at school knew about it. Oh, okay, so I start asking questions. Then I start meeting more and more people within the community, and it's just more so like I just always wanted to understand different cultures, you know. And same thing, like that's what like with blending in a sense, and as opposed to like just completely changing. Like I know, for instance, like you go to a European country, right, like Italy or some shit. Compared to going to an Italian restaurant here, where you could say like, or any restaurant here, hey, can I get a burger but with no tomatoes, no onions, no lettuce? In
Oh, it's
Italy, they
disrespectful.
take that so disrespectful, bro.
Yeah.
Like if you order the pasta, you don't get no extra cheese on it, none of that, you know. And so like, I go into those settings and I'll be like, okay, I know that I got to bite the bullet on this, and I can't really
you know
change.
how to understand the
Yeah,
culture.
and I just don't. I don't like disrespecting like other cultures. Same, you know, like I have like a lot of black friends and stuff, but I never have found the comfort in using the N-word or things of that sort. You know, because I just always knew that was considered like disrespectful.
Derogatory and shit,
Yeah, or derogatory. You know, and so like I think that's more so what it's been for me. And so maybe on a lesser scale, going to like a work setting and stuff like that is similar to that.
A good person.
But it's just, I like, you know, I rather make people, unless they do me wrong, I'm cool with like, hey, I'll be comfortable helping you be comfortable. Type shit.
You know what I like what you said though just now, because that goes back to what you were saying earlier. Because like when you just said like you appreciate, you know, you try to understand different cultures and stuff like that, and for you to say you understand and you're around black people, but you still just don't want to say the N-word.
That's why I said he's such
That's
a good person.
so cold to me, because that shows you that these other people that
That chose to do it.
that are around black people and choose to do it, it's like, okay, you're not even being yourself. You're trying to be something else. Like, why are you trying to be something else? Why don't you be you and understand the culture?
Yeah.
And you don't have to use the word, you know. Why are you trying to be black?
Well, I think it's actually rooted. I think when people act that way, it's actually rooted in a sense of premiership, like or status. Like it's cool, y'all get to say that. But so I'm kicking it. I get to kick it with them now, so I get to say it. You know, I could say it to y'all at
Like
school.
I'm at an upper echelon now. Like
Exactly.
y'all can't say it, but I can say it because I got these people.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got my black card.
Get that black card.
And
I
my
ain't
shit
gonna lie,
stamped.
If I was white, bro, I might be slanging that motherfucker. That's why I said you. A good person. I can't even hold you. First of all, like if I'm listening to all the music, I identify you know, I like this music. This is what I fuck with. The people
And you got
the
put
culture.
on and you got put on the set.
The culture, I fuck with everything about the culture. You're not gonna tell me I can't say nigga. I don't care.
I don't think I would.
On my side, I can understand why you wouldn't, and I also, you know, I've already told y'all I don't like it.
I think if if you are like you know, of a race that's not black or something like that, it's different if you're brought up in the culture. Just
Like brought up around. Yeah.
Not to want to say it, but to say it. I don't think it's a want. I think it's just a natural, actual, just norm, just like it is for us.
Yeah.
We're brought up hearing this word normally. So when you brought up in that same environment, and then you realize, oh dang, other white people don't be saying this. I thought everybody be saying it.
Especially if it's a term of endearment, like the way we use it. Like you say, like if you brought up in it, you're a white dude, you grew up in the streets with the niggas, and this is how they talk. I couldn't tell you that. Like I would have the reserve to just be like, y'all can say that.
Well, that wasn't my circumstance.
That's what I know. That's
I
know that.
Yeah.
That's what I was
That's
about
like
to
the
say.
point of me bringing that up.
Yeah.
I'm like, you not.
Yeah.
Or it's like I was born on Hoover, you know, and like you.
If you grew up in there, then you would be saying it.
Yeah.
You have tattoos on your face.
That's
too.
why I say I respect him though, because I feel like he wants to understand the culture. So basically, he's saying that somebody who came in as like an outsider,
right.
was understanding of the culture and being like,
right.
oh yeah, dang, this what these people do.
Yeah.
But I know that's disrespectful.
We know
to
a bunch
them.
of people that have been around and just felt the need to.
Because that's what I was gonna say. There was a couple other people in Crump who was of my complexion, and they felt very comfortable using that word.
Everybody around them is.
Yeah.
So it's like shit. I mean, if anybody else doing no harm with it,
yeah. But I just feel like it's some. I don't think it was a lack of awareness as that it's not derogatory.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I don't know if I would have the reserve.
Yeah.
If I was in your shoes, because if all the homies, this how we talk. Especially if I'm not hurting nobody's feelings. But, and that's why I try not to like knock nobody's head off for that position. Like I don't like it. I don't care for it. But like I got Mexican coworkers say nigga all the time.
Yeah.
I've been around white dudes who've been around a bunch of niggas, and they say nigga all the time. I dislike it, and I never say nothing about it. But like, just because I can understand, you feel me? Like if you feel like y'all not saying it to hurt nobody, why I can't say it to not hurt nobody? I don't fuck with that logic, but that don't mean I can't understand somebody having the logic, and that's a lot of shit with life, bro. Like I don't have to feel it to respect it.
Yeah.
If there's some logic behind what you're saying, most of the time I can just shrug at it. But other than that, like if it's just ignorant, like stupid, then I got a problem. But if you can give me something logical behind the reason why you doing some shit, I'd be like,
well, that's interesting because I learned something like 6 months ago. So I want to ask you this after you said that. Is common sense real?
Is common sense real?
No,
I think
because
it is.
I don't think it is.
But it's not, Snoop, because it's the scale so goddamn big.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The common sense is perspective based.
Absolutely.
That's
why I said it.
Yeah, like what you think is common, you may have not been raised on that.
Yep.
You know, so it can't necessarily be. So it's common sense to me is not real, and that's what it's interesting you say that because you could look at that and be like, "Come on, bruh, it's common sense." You don't know, but you don't really know their whole perspective or livelihood in which they were raised.
Prejudice and racism.
Yeah.
To me and you, it's ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
It's wrong. It's fucked up. If you was raised in a household, and that's all you know, going out into the world, I can be the person to call you ignorant and tell you foul and you fucked up and you're wrong and all that great shit, but literally that's all you know. So who am I? You feel me? Like now to me, I would be like, man, it's common sense. You know that shit wrong.
Yeah.
But
what's
your
common
grandpa
sense?
owned slaves.
Yeah.
You seen that?
Yeah.
There's nothing I cannot tell you that it's wrong. Like, and you got Bible scriptures to back up whatever you feel like you doing right or wrong. Who am I to be like, nah, man, use your common sense.
Right.
Common to who?
I feel like that's a reason why a lot of people clash in the first place is because they're understanding things only from their perspective. So they sit there and they be like, oh, why are you doing this? And they don't understand because they're not trying to understand this person's point of view. Like, oh, this is probably how they're brought up, or this is the way that they learn from where they're from. Maybe they're from a different country or stuff like that. It reminds me of I guess you can say like the whole religious thing in Crump, right? Because there was this one I had a little homie in Crump basically, and you know how Chez used to be with the tracks. He'll diss so many religions that he just didn't care. And one of my little homies was hearing it, He was listening to it. And when we was in the car, after I was like dropping him off, before he got out the car, he was like, yo, am I going to hell? I was like, yo, like, where did that come from? He was like, well, you know, because I'm Buddhist, my family's Buddhist, like, you know, they came from Cambodia, and we just have a whole different belief system. And he was like, but I'm in this whole different place, this whole different culture of crump. Yeah. He was like, I'm seeing it different. And I'm listening to these songs, they're saying this and this, and they're dissing Buddha. And he was like, so, well, you know, like, where do I fall? Like, where do me and my family fall? And that junk hit me so crazy, because I was like, dang, like, you know, like, why people don't even understand that all these people have different beliefs, but yet people are pushing their beliefs on people, are like dissing these other religions, like, yo, you gonna go to hell if you don't believe in Jesus, or, you know, Buddha ain't real, and all this other stuff. And it's like, dang, you just don't really understand somebody's upbringing. How can you tell like a whole country on the other side of the world, y'all all going to hell? Like,
they used to throw me for a loop, bro. I think I used to go through that back then too, where like it was being forced upon us, and I would be like, so what? Like, Muslims can't crump, bro? It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And yeah, so yeah.
So I mean, just to go back on the common sense thing, you know, for me, like, I think it's real, just for the simple fact, like, on basic shit. Like, if I'm standing in line, you know, and if a person comes and sees me standing in line, they just choose to stand in front of me. It's like, you know.
But that's common to you, though.
I mean, but I don't think that's race. That's just like
but
a person that just like.
You hope, but I'm just saying.
Don't got no sense. Like, he needs to be slapped in the fucking mouth.
Yeah, and so you teach him potentially, and then from that point on, it's common sense to him.
Like, common sense isn't always common, but I think.
I don't think it's real, bro. I think it's you have your perspectives of what you deem common. And you can teach people that in what you believe is common, but at the end of the day, common sense ain't real, bro. It's not.
I don't know, because I mean, like, you know, that's blatant disrespect.
Well, see, that's what I was gonna say. People don't know that it's disrespectful.
No,
see,
Snoop.
They're gonna understand.
Wait,
bro.
This what I'm gonna say.
We here.
Yeah.
We got you.
This is what I was gonna say.
That is not everybody. Bro.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a person hit somebody, and when they get violated, they are outraged?
Not outrage. I mean, you mean
You
hit,
never
like,
seen on social
somebody?
media if somebody hits somebody and they get hit back, and somebody get whooping their ass, and they screaming like, "Why are you hitting me?"
Yeah, I've seen.
But this is what I was gonna say.
Too many times.
If you go to,
I've seen it on some Karen shit, but not
Okay,
like,
but
not
that's
no, like.
fine. No, but does she not have common sense?
Well, I mean,
She's outraged. She is outraged that this person is whooping her ass.
But she has her motive is just the fact that she's trying to get a black person in trouble, in a sense.
Why gotta be a black person?
Because that's what I seen. That's what I'm saying.
It could be anybody.
I've never seen a white person get hit by a white person and be on some bullshit.
I have.
I want to go back to your example, right? If you were in Cambodia on vacation and you were standing in line at a food truck, and someone came in front of you, and they got to order, and they took their order and everything, and you went up, you was like, "Excuse me, like, I was here first," and it was like,
You just standing there.
that might be like, there's no telling like what they were raised. Like, it's disrespectful to you.
Ain't no way that if there is a line and a person comes and stands in front, that means they don't respect you as a person.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but it's
Your
not common sense
Yeah.
that they understand what a line is
They
and
don't
what the
respect
rules
that
of a
person.
line are.
That's your perspective.
They
though.
say we see all these Cambodian people, but I see this nigga and I'm gonna step in front of this
No,
nigga.
I'm saying in a
man,
sense.
stop doing that.
Bro, I'm saying in a sense if it was.
That's why that happens.
No, I'm saying in
He
a
didn't
sense
do
if
it.
it was me too. I'm saying it even if it was me.
He
in
gonna
a
do it because
sense-
you're white.
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying if it was a Cambodian person and you watch.
If
So
you're
listen.
in Cambodia and a Cambodian person sees you in a line full of other Cambodians, he's gonna pick you because you're white.
No, I'm saying okay.
I'ma
So
disrespect
say
you.
you were sitting on a bench then. Say you were sitting on a bench
Okay.
and you were watching a line.
Okay.
And you saw this one person come and cut in front of everybody and everyone was cool with it. That's all I'm saying, bro. Like, yeah.
Well, if everybody cool with it, that's different.
But I'm saying, but then they do it to you,
Yeah.
and then you think it's disrespectful.
And I'm up.
Well,
Yeah, because it's common sense. Because it's common sense to you. That's my only point. Common sense is
Yeah.
not
But I
real,
don't think
bro.
I don't think that's not constant. I think that's blatant disrespect.
Well, what I was gonna say is like if you see it in that sense, like say if you see somebody else cut somebody and they're cool with it, nobody reacts, but then put this person in a different culture. Like this dude comes to America now, cuts some lady. Now she's tripped out. She's outraged. That's rude. Now they're finding out, oh, this is disrespectful out here.
Yes.
I didn't know that. I didn't understand that this was disrespect.
Right.
I'm having a
I
hard
do
time
this.
understanding that.
I do this.
How?
Because
Because
you don't
it's
wanna-
just
you don't
not
want to
common.
view it from
I
somebody
think,
else's.
I think the fact that it's if you see a line, you know that people are waiting in a line for something. So once you cut in that line, ain't no way that's
but
that's
you viewing it
acceptable
too.
in a culture. That's
Have you
you
ever seen
viewing
somebody
it too-
ask you, like,
I'm
ask
not
people,
saying-
did y'all order yet? Instead of just going to the front?
yeah.
Okay, but everybody is not that. Everybody's rule is not that.
Yeah, that's my only point. Common sense isn't real, bro. Like it's more so.
It's not always common, but it's real.
No, it's not real, bro.
It's not always common, but it's real.
You can't
It's
expect.
too
you can't-
perception based to me.
Yeah,
to
it's
be
too
like
perception based. You can't live life expecting everybody to have the same common sense as you. More so, you have to live life in the sense of, okay, experience and learning.
So you
and
standing
things
in
of
line at Starbucks. This dude come up out of nowhere and walk in front of you, stand in front of you. You gonna sit here and think, you know what?
No,
he just
no. I will
don't have-
say, I will say something, but I won't be like, "How do you not know that? It's common sense." I wouldn't say that. I would just be like,
you would-
"Yo,
you would assume
you know
he
there's
didn't
a
see you?
line. There's a line here, brother." That's all I'm saying.
And I believe that. I believe that.
I do.
I believe
I
that.
do.
That's what I'm saying. Excuse me, sir. There's a line here.
I'm
That's what I'm saying.
said it.
He
just
gonna look
like
at you and
that,
go,
too.
okay.
Yeah, I'll say.
So then you turn up? Or you
Me-
go,
me
you
and you-
just go
me and
like,
you
you know what
argue.
it is.
But
what it is.
that's neither
Neither
here.
here nor there.
Yeah,
Neither here nor
thank
there.
you. It's neither here nor
know,
there.
I know.
It's
I'm just
my
trying- I'm
main
trying to
point
give you
is more
steps.
so
I just wanna
that
know
common
how-
sense isn't real, bro. It's just not.
I just want to know when you gonna realize that you're gonna unleash your common sense on his ass.
That's when I did it. Excuse me, brother.
Hey, chat, let us know what y'all think. Is common sense common?
Well,
No,
I know
real,
common
real,
sense ain't
real,
always
real.
common, but it's common sense real.
Common sense
It's
real.
common
But
sense
it-
real.
It's not real.
It's just it's too perception.
Now,
based.
I get that. Like saying there's just a broad range of it.
Yeah.
There's so many different
Me
things.
and you arguing right
there
now,
is common
and I
sense.
stand up. What you gonna do?
Okay,
Huh?
you could
If me
create
and
common
you arguing
sense.
right now, and I stand up. What you think?
I mean, I'm assuming you finna go ahead and take off on me.
Everybody's not gonna think that.
Yeah, that's right.
That's your common sense, though.
That's right.
And if you watching two people argue and one person stand up and then fire off another person that's sitting down, you could be like, why would you not get up if you got up?
Yeah.
Your common sense.
Yeah.
Everybody don't think.
That's
Violence is standing up. The same way if me and you arguing, standing up,
Somebody
and I
pull
pull
up
my
your
pants
shirts.
up.
Yeah.
You know what's up.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not everybody who gonna
They
know
go,
that I'm not just readjusting my pants. Like,
I get it.
That's my only point, bro.
But it's common sense.
I think you could create common sense.
yours, your common sense.
That's why it's real.
That's what I'm gonna
No.
say.
That's why I said it's real.
No,
it's just
I
not,
think it's real in
it's just
in
too
a bubble
broad.
though.
It's not always common.
Yes, it's real in a bubble. Like
Yeah.
you could look at your daughter and be like, "I told you this 5 times
Oh
already."
my God. I
you
do
know what I'm saying?
that. Oh, today was stressful.
But I'm saying more so if it's
but
some
I get-
random person, it's hard to validate you being pissed off by common sense.
no, yeah, absolutely.
That's my main point. But you could create common sense within your circle and shit.
In order for something to be common sense, the majority of all people need to agree and understand the concept. I'm not sure how many things exist under that description.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's my main point.
Who said that?
Derek,
Thank you, Derek.
Oh, Derek?
100.
100. 100% right.
Cinema 100.
That was a 100% comment right there. Yeah, I can agree with that.
All right, well, yeah. I guess, shoot, that falls under the line of spiritual growth, right? And wisdom. Should we tackle that real quick?
Or
All right.
you was
Well, it's
where we
interesting.
at?
It's
you was
interesting.
drifting that way, and then I brought
Yeah,
that
he brought
shit
it back. Because I was going to
He was
say,
like, I'm not done.
I was going to say from your example is exactly
Go.
what Sherwin was talking about. All right, Trey is out of here. All right, brother.
Trey got something more important than the
love,
podcast. It was.
Yeah. Because
All
it
right.
is 9:20, yeah.
All right, bro.
No, but you have brought up a good point about crump music and things of that sort. Sherwin Beast had a little explanation on how he felt about the video that Ches had made about the crump community and name drop his name. But he spoke about a lot of that in his response.
Yeah.
And saying, like, we really have to watch how we are explaining the spiritual side of the dance and things of that sort, because it does have effect on people like that, you know?
Yeah.
It's really what pushed me away I'm
Yeah.
sure it pushed a lot of people away. And so it's interesting that you brought that up. Because
Yeah, because I feel like it definitely, that stuff can definitely turn people away. And not only that, it's pushing your religion as the
text
Alpha. Yeah.
or the
you
alpha,
know,
yeah.
as the primary.
And
so
it's only coming from perception.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So it's like you're saying that I know all of you are going to hell.
Because
but
that's
we
what
not.
used to kill me, bro. I'm like, damn. So like, automatically, if I'm Muslim because my parents raised me this way, like, shit.
Yeah.
Where, like, what do I do? Where am I going?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I that's what I also liked what Sherwin said about sin.
Yeah.
I feel like that was
That
really,
was
good.
Yeah, that was
Because
really good.
he was like, people are calling people sinners, but he was like, they don't realize that sin actually means missing the mark. And I was like, I'm glad you put it in those terms and defined it that way, because so many people make it seem like sin is
like an act. Like once you do something, you have sinned and it is done.
Yes.
You are going to hell. You cannot get this off of your record.
As opposed to just like a mistake, and you can write it.
Like, well, the thing is like, I guess, in the scripture says we all fall short. So it's like we're just missing the mark. We're just not doing it right. You know what I mean?
So it doesn't mean you're convicted for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You could write it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you got time. You always got time.
Yeah.
You can sin all your life in a sense, and at the end, you get it right. And
I used to wonder that too when we was heavy back then.
yeah, he said heavy.
We were.
Yeah, we was.
And I used to be like, damn, like, why can't I just time it perfectly, where I do whatever the fuck I want the rest of my life and just repent right before I die.
Wow, right here.
Yeah, you know? That's how I used to think too. And I remember, I think I asked you this, Snoop, and you was like, well, you don't know when it's going to happen.
I mean, that's a fact.
That is a fact. Yeah, it's still a fact. But
Yeah.
Dodged out bullet. I'm like, well, listen here, sonny.
What I used to do, like in my younger years of like being Christian and being super religious, is anytime I do something wrong, I go straight to praying. So I try to like repent, whatever. So I'm like, at least I'm clean after I did this wrong.
So in
you know
case
what
I
mean?
get struck by a semi truck right now, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. No, so it's crazy that you kind of had that same type of mindset.
I'm telling you, because I mean, y'all knew me back then when I was asking questions for sure, and that was definitely a main one where I'm like, why can't I just have fun and do all these fun things and say what the hell I want to say, and when it's about to happen,
Just go
I'm
ahead.
on that deathbed. That's when I say, okay, please.
All right, dudes.
Yeah,
Wash me clean.
I'm all yours.
Wash me clean. I'm coming to you.
Yeah.
Do some Book of Eli stuff. Just shave my head at the end of the journey. Put me on a white dress and send me on to the upper room, all clean and pretty like. Yeah, I feel you though, man. Shoot, because I was the same way as you, bro. Like I'll do something. You already know I was deep, so I'll do something. I'll be like,
Freaking the fuck out. Yeah.
I'm never gonna make it. And then it got to the point, when we was crumping, because you dancing, so you thinking that I'm only good because I'm in the Bible right now. I'm reading the Bible. I'm praying hard. That's why I'm so good. So I would do something. I'd come back home, get with a girl, whatever, and I'd be like, man, I'm finna be trash now. Like,
Oh, really? Damn, that's interesting.
like,
Yeah, I
just
didn't have that. I didn't have
to-
that. That's interesting.
I'm about to lose all my crump, man. I got to really get back in the spirit.
Yeah.
I got, you know what I mean? Like that's how I used to be. So yeah, it's
Excuse
definitely-
me.
But-
what you about to say?
I was gonna say, do you think that a lot of that mentality comes from the way that
It was
I guess
taught.
Christianity is taught?
Christianity or the way we were taught?
We were taught in Christianity, I guess you could say.
I think definitely the way we were taught created that type of mentality for sure, or had a major extreme effect on that mentality.
It was definitely the way we were taught. Cause I remember, well, I mean, it wasn't like I went to church and I seen something different, but like I learned that from Crump and being around Crumpers who were in church, and I went to church and I'm like really starting to get deep into it, but I'm like, wait, they're not even that serious. Like I heard the pastor was cussing at home, and you know what I mean. I'm like, I can't go to this church. I'm above him. I don't cuss. I don't listen to the secular. And he was like, nah, man, you gotta have a balance. And I'm like, no, there's no balance. You can't make friends with the world, and you know what I'm saying? Like, So I think that strictly came from just.
But it is interesting though too, because then you could have been raised in that type of church setting, and then you come into the crump setting and you like, shit, my pastor says I can say shit.
Yeah,
you know, like.
I think some people were like that, so they like really knew what was up. So when Ches was doing a lot of stuff, they were like,
But that's why it became such like a perception base. And that's why more so when we're talking like spiritual and stuff like that, that's more within you type thing, as opposed to the perception of how it's supposed to be or how a book says it's supposed to be and these sort of things. It's more so, I'm finding my spiritual growth within myself and what makes me click, you know?
I think the biggest problem is the fact that we were all being taught by somebody who didn't know how to teach it.
Yeah.
You know, when Beast was saying that stuff in the podcast, I was learning stuff now. Like I'm listening, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, the terminology he was using.
Yeah, I'm like,
everything.
shit, I might want to have to go run the whole Bible back. Like that just changed the way I look at everything now. You know what I mean? The way he was saying everything. And I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, you know, being young and listening to it one way, that can definitely turn off a lot of people, especially if you're not taught in a way where you can perceive it at a young age. You know, you want to hear it in a real way. You don't want to hear like, oh, like just straight scripture. And it's like, well, what does that mean? It means that if you do this, you're going to hell. Like, oh shit, I don't, okay.
Yeah. That's, I think that's the thing that really, I guess you can say, really twists people's mind, because once you hear that, like somebody tells you like, if you do these sins, you're going to hell. You start to live life with more of a fear of hell than like a love of God, I guess you can say. Right. It kind of separates that. You're removing yourself or trying to remove yourself from sin just out of the fear of hell. You're like, I don't want to go to hell, so I don't want to do this. Or I don't want to do this. And then it's like, well, dang, you're not even necessarily thinking about God. You more so thinking about, I don't want to go to hell. It's like, how does that help you?
Yeah.
You know, it always confused me too. I never saw somebody from the church be took in as a eyes and be raised as a eyes. You see what I'm saying? Like, it was never like a, yo, you walking really good right now. And so we gonna bring you and make you tight and crump.
Yeah.
It was the opposite. You had to be tight and crump. And it's like, if you actually want to be under me though, then you got to get saved.
Get in church. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone had to go up the crump ladder. And that's what I'm saying. Even when the things you guys were saying were making so many ideas come to my head, but like, bro, like the church they was going to, it was more so like, hey, we got to get to this church because that means you tight at crump. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
if you went to that church, that means
you buck.
You
hot. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And so like, he was learning from somebody who said definitively this is how it is, and no one could question that because this is how it's read.
Right.
Whereas like Sherwin explains it in a different way. Well, yeah, you have to read the context before it. You have to read the context behind it. And then we can really see what this one sentence means. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like, if he's learning from this guy who says definitively you can't counter what this is saying, and then he thinks that's how it has to be, and everyone wants to look up to this guy, okay, we're going to listen to you. You know what I'm saying? So it just created like a toxic... Very toxic mentality for sure.
I feel like at this point, like right now, is where we're like really, really healing from like that trauma from those 10, 15 years of toxic. You know what I'm saying? Like toxic teachings. Like that's crazy. And I think with what B said, kind of opened the door for a lot of people to be like, oh well, maybe I can go back to church, or you know what I mean? Maybe I should like look at spirituality or Christianity in a different light.
Yeah.
You
know what it made me think about, like after hearing that, everything he was saying, and this is kind of it's extreme though, but the whole Kanye West interview that he recently did when he was talking about the stuff, when he talked about the Hitler stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't watch that.
People like condemned him for like saying that he likes certain things about Hitler, but it kind of made me understand that he was coming from the spiritual place. I think he was trying to be all love, all loving, all, I think that's where he was trying to do it. So he was trying to make it seem like we're supposed to love everybody, like even the most evil. I think he was trying to put it in that perspective, and people took that
the wrong way.
the wrong way, because it's like, no, you're saying that you like an
Hitler
evil
and
person.
what he was doing to
Yeah.
these people.
Yeah.
You agree with that.
Yeah, it's like you're agreeing with the behavior, and I don't necessarily think that's where he was coming from with that. After I listened to what Sherwin was saying, I was like, oh, I kind of see where he's coming from.
Where are y'all at in life with that mentality? Both of y'all, like, do you feel like
Oh, my bad.
there is always a right, like a thing that could be righted? Like, you know, someone killed your family member or something, but you find the love in them. Like, are y'all at that stage in life, or is it more so like, hey, nah, if you go down that road, we got some issues.
I can't speak for what I would do if something as heinous as something like that happened.
Because I'm just saying it from the perspective of him trying to find love in Hitler, even though he's responsible for over 10 million deaths.
Yeah, I'm not at a place of.
That's how I feel too. Yeah,
because my dad was killed by a drunk driver, and he recently he got out. 5 years. He only did 5 years, so
that's crazy.
Yeah, that shit rubs me the wrong way every time I think of it. So, and I I don't know what I would do if I seen this person.
Yeah,
so I can't say that I'm grown past that.
Yeah, I feel like there's an emotional reaction that we all have that I feel like some of us, it's hard for us to get past, and I feel like in that sense, in certain areas, depending on the emotional trigger, the emotional tie, it might be hard for me to be like forgiving or to be loving in that situation.
yeah.
So,
Because I think maybe that's why it was easier for Kanye to have that opinion and finding love. Because I do think, I do believe it was probably rooted in what you were saying. But I really do wonder if it was more personal.
Yeah.
If he would feel the same way. If it was his kid or his sister or his brother.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
that was part of what
that's the reason that we all try to empathize with everybody who, is from that community or, has some descendants from that from those people that Hitler hurted. It's like when you say that, it's like you're hurting these people.
Yeah.
You have to relive that. And you're like, oh, he has good. And they're like, man, get the fuck out of here.
Because he made the highways and microphones.
Yeah.
Someone else would have made that shit.
Yeah.
And so that's why I asked, because I think everything in life is easier to, they say psychologists are the craziest people, bro. Because it's so easy to tell people, hey, you could do this better. You could, hey, work on this, but then when you in it, it's a lot tougher,
Oh, yeah.
And so I view that similarly. Like it's easy to point out the good and what he did, because ain't none of that shit affects you, bro.
Yeah.
Whereas if it was your grandma or some shit,
Yeah.
you don't know how you feel.
And that's why with certain situations like that, it's like, why even say it? Because I guess it's one of those things like, you might offend a lot of people saying something like that. There's a lot of people who have emotional ties to that situation. So you just speaking about a person and saying that, oh, you love them or there's good in them and all this stuff like that, you're bringing up emotional triggers in all these people because they all have to relive that. Like you said, they have to go back to that and think about like, oh, dang, this dude's actually like saying that there's good in a person who did all this horrible stuff to, generations of my family type thing. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
Where do you guys feel like you are as far as like, I guess, spiritual growth or growth in general?
Me personally, I can just say, man, I think I've grown a lot and got over things that I realized about myself. Like I realized that I was like selfish. I was extremely impatient. I was the type of person that would like, I will put out an idea and then as in a conversation or with a group of people, and then when somebody doesn't agree, like I'm like now gonna, bash it until like
you gonna understand.
Yeah, you need to understand my idea. Like, oh, I do understand it, but it's like you don't get it though, and I'm gonna keep telling it until you agree with what I'm saying. Like I've gotten to a point where I've grown past like doing that and understanding that people can understand your opinion, but they don't have to agree or even say that they would do that idea or anything like that. Like you know, it's my idea. That's my opinion. Nobody else has to agree with that. So I've grown in that aspect and like being patient with people, stuff like that.
What do you think sparked the change or like the growth?
Honestly, man, you know, being around my girl really, she helped me with that. Honestly, she helped me with a lot of shit as far as me like changing the ways I think about shit mentally, or you know, talking to other people and shit. So just being around her, like cause she looks at things a lot different than me. So you know, I used to have arguments with her all the time, like, how don't you get this? And yeah, and then she would tell me, I don't know, I can't do it. Like
she said, because common sense ain't real.
Type shit. You know what I mean? So she was just like, I don't know. I mean, you know, I get what you're saying and I hear you. It's just that there's something I don't want to do. And so, you know, that kind of helped me look at things like, okay, not everybody has to do what I want to do or have to see things the way I want to see things.
Yeah.
So, and then, you know, just growing in life and you realize it. Like I remember when I was having a conversation with your cousin, remember Key?
Oh yeah.
We was having a conversation one night and we're sitting here talking and man, the conversation got so heated that I had to like slam my hand on the table to like calm everything down. And I was thinking about that, like, why was I doing that? Like he had his ideas and I have mine. Like we could have just agreed to disagree and moved the fuck on, you know? But I was steady trying to tell him that, you know, what he was saying was not real. It's what I'm trying to tell you is real.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've got to such a point, bro, where I hate arguing like that. Even like sports, and I'm so passionate about sports, but it's got to a point where it's like, bro, like, what can I say that's going? I remember we're in a group chat with Quenga, and Quenga was kind of going through something in the Crumpers page this week, and he was like telling us what was going on, because I'm not in the page, but he was telling us what was going on, and right off rip, when I seen what was said, I'm like, and who he was talking to, I'm like, bruh,
you gotta let that shit go. Like.
Yeah, you either down to write 100 more messages, or you just gonna realize shit ain't gonna change.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it's just got to that point for me where, just kind of protecting your energy and like being authentic in who you are and being open to the people that's around you. But as soon as they show you signs that potentially their energy conflicts with yours, it's okay to, you know, sort of depart and create a new season, you know? But me spiritually, man, I don't know. I think that the human brain is the most powerful thing in the world.
I agree.
The fact that we can even have these type of conversations, the fact that there's such things as calendars and, you know, we can telegraph 10 years time into the future and all these sort of things. There's no other species, there's no other thing in the world that can do that. And so me always, not always, but I've continuously, you know, come to terms or continue to come to terms with that and really just, you know, treat life more so as an experience and constantly try to learn and these sort of things, like you said, you know, these things that you were learning through your experience, whether it be through relationship, through having kids, through work, hobbies, whatever. I think that's more so just where I'm at in life. I'm very, you know, just appreciative for what the experience is right now. And like I said, like the human brain can telegraph 10 years, 100 years, could create what's going to happen after this experience is over. How much more in depth is the universe and the world? Like the brain can do all that, but I try to ground myself in like what the experience is at today,
right now,
because I don't know, and I've come to terms that I just don't know, and so instead of having the conflicting thoughts that I had when I was 17, 18, when thoughts were kind of forced on me, is more so, you know, I'm okay with where I'm at, and I don't feel like an outcast in a sense, like, oh well, since everyone thinks this way and you don't, it's more so like, hey,
you ever thought about taking shrooms?
I'm kind of scared of drugs because, like I said, like this is a conversation off of shrooms. You know what I'm saying? So imagine, because even when I smoke, bro, it's like if I take more than 2 hits, I start, ooh, you know,
my mind goes into this deep web. I start thinking, I think way too deep. That's why I'm just like I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do.
But you
Shrooms I can do.
you had the shrooms.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
I think
Yeah.
shrooms is a much more like
Chill.
it's more chill for sure. It's less, I would say, like, you know, it's a psychedelic. I think it's just a really it's a stronger psychedelic, obviously. I think weed is just scratching the surface. So that's why you think so much, because you want to experience, your brain wants to experience, but it's like, I can't go there. I can't go no further. I can only just put the thoughts in your head. But once you do shrooms, it kind of opens your mind to all this stuff. You know what I mean?
You have a definitely a broader lens, and it's a lot more connective and self-reflective. So like the stuff that you think about, you're not gonna, you don't really go down this web of thoughts like you would in
Weed.
with weed. Yeah,
Right.
because like with weed, I feel like you will go from thought to thought to thought to thought.
You like stuck in that little, and you just thinking.
Yeah.
You can't get out of that little cycle right there.
But with shrooms, it's like you get more of an understanding of the stuff that you're thinking about.
And then it moves on.
Yeah, and then you go to the next thing. So that's kind of what it is with that.
That's what I like about shrooms. So like I took shrooms when I've been taking shrooms a lot, but I took shrooms the first time and I took it just a little bit, and that shit changed everything.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like if I wouldn't have, because this year I did a lot of stuff that I've normally wouldn't do. Like all my life, bro, I've only been to one concert. I've been to Summer Jam. I didn't go to no other concerts. Like I would get in my head about it. I overthink. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to this concert.
Just like big crowds and shit, or what?
I'll go to this concert, and then this might happen. Then I'm gonna see this person. I don't really like that person. Now we're gonna get in a fight and all this other bullshit. Hella overthinking. This year, I took that, and then after that, I was like, you know what? I don't care. I went to Kendrick's concert. I went to California by myself to a whole concert.
Yeah.
Met like 6 people. We all had a good time. It was, I think, and going to that concert was better for me because it was just intimate.
Yeah.
I met the artists. We were just all chilling, talking. And I was like, this is what I've been fucking paranoid about this whole time.
Yeah.
I feel like if it wasn't for me, doing shrooms and just, opening my mind, like you said, self-reflecting and kind of like understanding who I am and what I got to deal with, I wouldn't have done none of that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the good thing about it, what he was saying is, it gives you a more of an appreciation, like for life.
Yeah.
So like as you're sitting there, like, because going along with what he said as well, like after I did shrooms, I started going to the movies by myself, and I was like, dang, this is actually dope. Like, stuff that I wouldn't do
Used to be a stigma.
Like,
or something.
you start doing because it's like, why not?
Yeah,
you start removing those barriers that you had in your mind, and you start feeling more motivated to do stuff just because it's like, I want to do this, so I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like you start thinking like, oh, I have to do this because we all think it's cool. Like, no, I like this, so I'm gonna just go outside and go do it. And then that part, like going outside and doing stuff, like just being seen doing stuff. Like,
you know what's so interesting? And I don't want to tie it back or go too back to like where we were at, but like with Christianity, right, is walk by faith, not by sight.
Yeah.
But you just explained a bunch of experiences that you physically walked through that helped you sort of learn that, okay, this is something that's beneficial to me, or not as crazy as I thought it was. And I think sort of that walk by faith mentality can sort of keep you in a, because it's more so like, hey, I'm just trusting it's okay, or I'm just trusting this ain't gonna be right for me type thing. Whereas it's like sometimes you just really you can't control nothing. Something could have happened at that concert, right?
Right.
It's not by any of your doing.
Right.
Something could have happened. Trying to go to that concert. You could have skipped that concert. Something could have happened you here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so too many people try to control things that just are uncontrollable.
No, absolutely.
And more so, you just got to experience. And that's why my biggest thing. That's why I'm more so like just walk through experiences, like walk by experience as opposed to faith.
Yeah.
Like I'm more so just like I wanna. Obviously, faith is a good thing to have as well. You want to trust that you're headed in the right direction and these sort of things, or you're doing the right things. But when you experience it, there's no other
feeling.
confirmation.
Yeah, experience is definitely the best teacher in life.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why a thought that I used to always have that I adapted is live the experience. You want to live the experience. You want to have experiences and learn from it.
That's why I chose to go to. Oh, my bad.
No, I was just.
But that's why I chose to go to Desert Storm the whole week.
Yeah,
I was like, bro, I can't sit here and be the person that's saying, the States would be so cool if we did events like Europe or the Ellison. We had a week long. I can't sit here and say all that shit. Then we have one here, and I'm like, oh shit, I ain't going to that.
I ain't gonna go. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, it's $1,200. Like, but then you see what I'm saying? You found ways to do it. You experienced it, and then you look back on you like, hey, it might have been a couple grand or whatever, but the experience was worth it. You know,
every day of it.
Yeah.
Shit.
And so you don't even think about the costs, you know, because experiences it just trumps everything, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And that's what I get over. That's why I've gotten over for sure. Because I overthink that too. How much is it gonna cost?
That's why I never check my bank account. I just do shit, and then I check it at the end of the month. Be like, okay, it's a little higher than I thought it would be. You know,
I got a credit card, man. I got credit cards of more than $20,000. So I'm like, how much is it, dude? Here. All right, you know what I mean. I'm not finna not do this shit because I can't. No, here, take this credit, and I'll pay that shit later.
Yeah,
for sure. You know.
Yeah, a lot of my journey has been a lot of like unlearning, relearning, and learning more about myself. You know, because I feel like a lot of stuff that I learned in general in the beginning was stuff like you said that was taught, and being that it was taught, like a lot of that stuff I had questioned in the back of my head, but I never really actually like was like. I guess I want to say like. Brave enough to speak on it back then.
Yeah.
I was more so in the fear of like, oh, this is how it's supposed to be, so I can't. And now that I like been learning more about myself, I'm like, okay, you know what? If I live the life that I feel is good and true to myself, and I feel like I'm living in light and love and stuff like that, who's to tell me I'm not? You know? So I feel like that's been more so of the sense. So it's like, what do I want to learn in life? What do I want to do in life? What do I feel makes a good person? Because we all feel differently on that, and I want to emulate that. Yeah, you know, and just take the stuff that I learned from experience along the way. Like some certain things I might find out, like, oh shoot, this is actually maybe not such a good trait because people not really. This is hurting people, so maybe I should change that. So yeah.
Now, it's interesting when we went to Arizona, Suave and I drove together.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
But Suave and I have not been in a car. Suave and I have not been in a car together since 2010.
Yeah.
A while.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
So, like, things have changed, right? Like, we've grown older and stuff. So, like, when I'm coming to pick him up, I'm like, man, I wonder, like, what kind of music he like listening to and shit. But I didn't say nothing. And so we just driving and cruising, and I throw on like my shit. And like we get halfway there and he's like, man, I really like fuck with this. And so that it's funny too, because like those sort of things are just sort of show the I don't want to say maturity. It's not like we matured and all of a sudden we like this type of music, but just like the change, and not the change, I don't know, the growth, I guess.
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say the growth that happens.
Yeah, where
like we kind of grow into different people almost. Like you start to find your lanes. Yeah, and then you start to see like, oh, is this person like appreciative, or do they mess with it? And then sometimes you get to an understanding where it's like, oh dang, because you know what? It's crazy that you say that, because when we was in the car and you started bumping the music, in my mind, I'm like, he messes with music like this? Like, this is like my lane. Like, I didn't even know you mess with music like this. Yeah. And that's why I asked. I was like, oh, you be listening to stuff like that? And he was like, yeah, you know, I mess with like deep house and stuff like that. And I'm just like, dang, that's crazy. Like, he messing with, this is stuff I listen to on the regular. Yeah. It's just, but I feel like it's a good thing to have these moments, because it helps you more to come into your own that much more. Because you realize like a lot of the stuff that people, or maybe you have refrained from for years, you know, like there's stuff that you probably didn't do because you thought, oh, it's not cool, or it's not this and it's not that. And the stuff that you start doing that you just find like, this is stuff I like. You start finding that people appreciate that much more. They're like, oh, dang, that's actually dope. Or even if it's unique to you, people was going to be like, dang, that's dope that you do that. You know? Because I found that when I was doing certain things with like TikTok or certain traits, people would be like, oh yeah, I actually really mess with what you're doing. And I'm just like, dang, that's just something that I wanted to do just because I was like, I like it, and something I want to try.
Yeah. Because I don't know. It's interesting for me because I think personally, I don't think people could tell because I've done so much different stuff like dance, did music, the way I used to dress, even stuff I wear today. You would think like I'm someone who's just like, okay, confident in a art form expression, but I always struggle with having that confidence, you know? Like I've always been maybe that even played into me like quitting music and quitting Crump and those sort of things, you know? And so I've always tried to find a balance of like being artistic, but also caring about perception of it. And that's always sort of been a battle for me. And so, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I got to that, but you
I was
know.
gonna say I think a lot of creative people have a struggle like that though.
Yeah.
You know, of like in the back of their head, like it's their creative expression, but at the same time they're kind of worried about others' perception as well.
Yeah.
In almost the same light. It's like, yeah, even though this is what I want to do, I still do have a thought in the back of my mind of like how are people
gonna perceive it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because even when we went to the event, after we left, I'm like, damn, I really think I'm better than a lot of people still. But I still was in that moment. Like when you was asking me to go do a video, I'm like, that's straight like confidence issues.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a matter of
you think you better, but you don't want to go out there and
and then I do flop or like you overthink it, you know, in the concert, you know, it's people laughing at you and shit, you know, like I've always struggled with that. Yeah. And so
that's why you need shrooms.
Yeah. Because I'm telling you, I think for sure, like if I was like, if I got that feeling, like there was impressive people there, but I think I could still move a little bit, you know. So
you can. I think both of y'all still could. I mean, it's just the fact that y'all just chose to do other things at the time. You know what I mean? Y'all directed y'all passions and energy to something else, which it's not a bad thing. It's just the fact that that's what y'all wanted to do, but y'all can still do it.
Yeah. But I just mean more in the sense like
y'all can still, like, if I get up and dance right now, y'all can still be like, oh, you know what, if you did this here, or I seen that right there, so if you did that, you know what I mean, like y'all both can pick that shit apart like it's nothing. So
yeah, I think the struggle comes in the mind. Sometimes it's our mind that really,
that's why it's so strong, you know, like
because you'll think it and you'll know, like, man, I can get in here and get crazy. But then it's like once that energy comes in and your mind's that
first thought comes, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So you start thinking like, what am I gonna do when I first get in? What's the first move I'm gonna do? You're like, I don't know how I'm gonna start off.
Right.
All right. So if I don't start off on this time, then I'm gonna miss beat. And then you just start.
Yeah.
That's why
slippery slope.
That's why that's another reason why I like shrooms so much, is because it gives you such a flow with life. Yeah. Absolutely. You know what I mean? You kind of just let go. Yeah. You don't even like worry about thinking too much. You just like let everything happen as it is, and it just starts flowing naturally. And I feel like what makes me appreciate that is that's some of the moments where I felt my best at dancing is when I've had that feeling where I've just let go and I'm free of like overthinking. All the thoughts is gone. I'm just like flowing and dancing. It was like after the round's over, I'm like, dang, like I was really somewhere else just now. You know, like I really like I was not here.
It's no secret why Quenga was not himself, bro. You could tell he was here.
He was in his head.
My worst battles, I had doubt. My best battles, I was the best person in the room. Yeah. I felt like nobody could tell me shit, you know? And that you just at that pinnacle of mentality.
Yeah.
And so you just, when you in those moments, you just got to believe, you know?
Yeah.
And so, but it's interesting.
Where I felt my best at is usually when I'm, like I said, when I let go. Like when I'm not worried about anybody, you know, I'm not worried about how good this person is, how much better this person is than me, how much better I might think I am than them, or how less I may think I am of this person. It's just more so like I'm me, and you're gonna take all what I got to dish out.
that
You know
part.
what I mean?
That part, like when I was at the session, we had a session recently at the park, and Concrete was out here, and usually when somebody's like that is out here, like my first thought is like I'm looking at them like, all right, I gotta make sure like I'm
Up there.
at least doing something good enough to make that motherfucker get hype. But when I was there, man, like I just wasn't. I wasn't thinking about it. You know what I mean? I was just there, like I knew who I was in Crump, and I think that's the biggest thing for me. Like I always forget who I am. I'm trying to like live up to your perception or this person's perception.
Yeah.
And it's like, but nigga, who are you?
Yeah.
Like, who are you in this shit? And I'm like, yeah, man, I am something in this Crump. So like when I was out there like session, and I think I put out some pretty dope ass rounds, but it's only because I was like not even thinking about I need to do this at this moment. No, I'm like, nigga, if I want to do this, I can do this, or I can do this and it worked out for me. I felt hella good after that session.
Yeah.
Just because I had that freedom.
You could tell too, like you know, even in your battle, it felt more so like you was, you know, it was in your element type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I said, he's my brother, of course. Like, it wasn't his best performance from Quenga. I still think he was dope, but I could just tell how he was acting before the battle, how he was talking to us. He's going against a heavy person on minimal or on short notice.
Yeah, on short notice.
There's a lot of pressure with the name he has now and shit like that. There's a lot, because I was in that state. I remember being J Crush and Ches looking at me like, okay, this is where it's at now, and that getting to me. And that's why I said, like, whereas like in those moments, I felt like I was underachieving. But then once I had dropped and everything, and I'm like, I'm the best at this shit. So before I leave, I want to battle this guy.
Yeah.
Well, I want to battle Wonder Bread. They think Wonder Bread better than me. I know I'm better than him. You know what I'm saying? And I went in there and was just me.
Yeah.
Same with like the weapon thing. It's easy to have like that underdog mentality because you're able to, the whole odds are against you. You just believe in yourself. It is what they expected me to lose type shit. Yeah. Whereas when you at the top, it's a little harder because then they expect
the
you
pressure to be better than what you was though.
Yeah.
Now you battling yourself at this point.
Yeah, and then you like, damn, like
what can I do different from who I am?
As opposed to just being you and just living with the results, you know? And so that's probably the biggest thing that I struggled with when I was in Crump, but yeah.
Yes.
Oh no, my mind was on some other shit.
You was dancing.
Oh God, I was.
He was dancing in his head.
I was.
He was over there like,
I was definitely just dancing in my head, bro.
I would kill a session right now.
I was definitely dancing in my head. That's so crazy, bro. Like your last 3 words I did not hear. I was like,
it was transported.
I said, man, I felt like I was the best, and you start saying, oh shit, that's exactly how I was feeling.
That's how I feel now. What can I do? There's a tournament coming up in I want to say January.
I saw Crush is having an event now.
It's either January or February called King's Legacy.
Who's all battling? I saw Jarrell's battling Dread.
Yeah, Twin Rude and Dread is battling, and
he's not Twin Crush.
Twin Crush.
Yeah,
my bad. Twin Crush and Dread is battling, and Bounce and Hornet is battling.
I don't know who that is.
Hornet, I think he's from overseas, and he's been out here in Cali for a while. He's from DC.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's been in Cali for a minute.
Battling, but they're having a tournament too for $1,500. And I'm gonna win it.
You gonna join?
I'm winning, bro. I'm not joining. I'm winning.
You gotta get in that F45 this month. We need all these rounds from you, man.
Hey, real talk, bro. If I got back in F45 right now until the event,
so this is what I wanted to ask, because this just reminded me mentally, when you were in your best shape, why was that? What in your head, like what was pushing you?
So I'm gonna tell you what started it. So what started it was we had a little wager at work. You know, there was a couple guys that worked that were overweight, and so we was like, all right, we'll just bet $100. We'll all put in $100, and then whoever lose the most weight wins. So I was like, okay, cool. And then I was talking to a friend of mine at the time, and he was like, I'm vegan. I went vegan. I was like, oh, I'll try vegetarian. He was like, no, it's the same thing. You know, you can do this, yada, yada, yada. So I was like, all right, bet. So this happened. It is kind of like it was a line. So I was like, all right, this happened. So I'm like, I'm going to try to go vegetarian. Then I don't know, I think I seen a flyer or a post or something that your brother had at the gym. So I'm like, all right, I'll come down there. I'm trying to get in shape right now. So I went the first time, and then after I went for like maybe 2 weeks, and then I was like I would get done and I would see how much I did in that little week, and I started getting better and stronger. I was like, God damn, this is actually good. I'm able to do stuff that I wasn't able to do before. So I think just seeing the progress is what made me keep going.
Yeah,
that's what made me want to stay consistent with it. Like, I got to get better and better. And then once I started dancing, bro, I was like, bro, I can do whatever I want to on this dance floor now. I can be exactly what I am in my mind. Like, you know how you laugh in your mind. You want to do backflips, you want to do this, you want to do that. Like, I was out there doing the shit on the ground. I was, I'm not the type of person to go on the ground. So once I was able to do that, I was like, oh, this is amazing. Then I kind of like tweaked my knee. Then I had my baby, and then I was sitting at home for a while. Then I moved.
No, but I asked because I always fluctuate. Where, hey, 2-3 weeks I want to get in shape, then I lose it again. But I think now I'm kind of at a point where I found a good mental trigger for me. I was watching Joe Rogan's podcast, and he was talking about how like blood flow is vital. So if you're sitting all day and you're not getting, like, you are shortening your lifespan just naturally.
Yeah.
And so now when I work out, even though it's miserable, I really love the feeling how I feel afterwards, because I just like feel the blood flow and shit like that. And so like that's really what's kept me going. I skipped last week because I had COVID. I didn't go this. I'm flying out tomorrow for a wedding.
Okay.
So I'll come back next Monday. Yeah. But even then, like when I had COVID, mentally, I tried to work out Thursday. I did work out Thursday, but it was not there.
It was harder though.
And my mind was like.
But you wanted to do it though. You wanted to do this shit so.
I did. I was so pissed that I couldn't. But my mind was telling me I'm not ready to work out right now. Your chest is hurting a little bit. You're not doing the same type of reps. Like, just go home. And so I was like pissed. But I fought through it though. But still, like, it just shows how like the mental is just everything.
Once you find that thing that's gonna make you do something, you'll keep going. Cause like once I found like a trigger to start going to the gym, like even when I miss days, I still have a tie to go back. You know, like if I miss days, it's like, dang, I missed the day at the gym. I got to go back.
Where you used to miss a day and then you'll miss 3 months.
You'll miss a whole segment. And then you're like, dang. Then next thing you know, you look in the mirror and you're like, man, I got to hit the gym.
Yeah,
you know?
For sure.
So, you know, and for me, man, when you get done with F45, Suave, you should definitely go. But when you get done with F45, I feel like when you go outside, it's like shrooms. So you get that euphoric feeling. Like I used to get up crack of dawn in the morning, bro. 8 o'clock class. Get there, do it. But when I walk out, I would look outside and everything would be so bright. Like I would be like, I would do it in the morning and get done, and I'd be like, man, I just want to go and do more shit.
Because it'll wake you up.
Yeah. And then have you just feeling like super energized. Bro. I remember one time I did the class, and you know that class ain't easy.
No, it's not.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
Afterwards, I went and I was like, I'm just gonna go hike this mountain.
Yeah.
And I just drove up to a mountain. And I just walked all the way up that shit for no reason, and then walked all the way down.
Yeah.
But you just felt like you just had all this energy. It's just like shrooms, bro.
Yeah.
Just like shrooms.
Yeah.
Man,
but it probably releases like certain chemicals within your body.
Yeah, it absolutely does.
Yeah.
And doing it that way. And I feel like it's not strenuous to the point where you can hurt yourself. They have ways to adjust it to. Like if I do have a bad knee, you can do it lighter this way and still get that full effect, like that full workout still. I miss F45 so much.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with it is that it sort of takes out the mental part of like, okay, well, what do I have to do today? They have it all on the video. They create the workout for you, So it's just like, just watch the screen and just do what they say, Yeah. So it kind of creates the... you go to the gym by yourself. It's like, all right, I'm going to do chest today.
Yeah.
And then you do 2 chest workouts. You like,
all right,
damn, I don't feel like doing 4 chest workouts. So I'm going to go. Whereas like this on the screen, okay, I'm just going to work through it. I'm not thinking about it,
Well, it's crazy. For me, I like going to the gym by myself because I'm in a zone. I actually don't like to go with other people.
Yeah.
It's just because sometimes I feel like I get into conversation. I'm not as focused. Yeah. And when I'm just there and just me.
Yeah. And see, the thing with you is,
lost in it.
See, because you're the type of person, you're like very like planned, like you'll plan shit. So I'm pretty sure you have like a set workout that you do on set day. So like, for other people, most people when they go to the gym, they're like, all right, what am I gonna do today? I'm gonna go over to this machine. This look like it does some good stuff.
Yeah.
Work my legs.
And then
here.
someone took it, too. So you're like, oh, no, I
Yeah,
can't do this one that I
sorry.
thought I was going to do. Now,
Let me go over here. I'm gonna do some crunches right now. Oh,
Yeah.
let me do a pull up.
Yeah.
What a curl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're like, all right, I'm gonna go and do these curls. I'm gonna hit this right here. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you have that kind of setup, like, workout, then yeah, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
You can flow better.
And I just feel you you always sort of been just like I don't want to say a recluse, but like to yourself and disciplined within yourself where you can do those sort of things.
That's what I was looking for. Discipline.
Yeah. Whereas me, like I said, I could do that for 2 weeks, but then once that doubt starts creeping in, that third week, the workouts start to shorten a little bit.
You know, my problem is I like to think I'm stronger than I actually am. So I'll go to I was going to the gym before this battle, and I was starting to lift weights, and I got to that squat rack, and I was like, I can do some 45. And I got in there, and I was like, oh shit. And I was like, yep, that's it. Not going over there no more. Legs are not that strong. Need to do some other shit first.
You're like, I want to be able to do ground moves. Let's put some 45s on these puppies.
Yeah. So like that's my problem. I think I'm too strong. Like I can do this shit. No problem. Let me get on this bench.
And also with working out, it's more so form anyways. Like if you did perfect form, high rep of just the bar benching compared to just one terrible rep of the heaviest weight, it's significantly more beneficial than the lower weight.
Yeah.
Low weight, high reps for sure.
Yeah. And just proper form.
And then I was going after work, so I only had like a small time. So I was like 30 minutes. I gotta get it in.
Yeah.
No stretching, no warm up, nothing.
Shit.
Bink, bink.
Yeah.
Ah, click. All right, I'm done.
I can't lie.
He telling everybody he working out, he going there and just maxing out one rep.
Yeah,
and
one
all right,
rep.
I'm good.
Ah, click. All right, what's next?
Not the
Legs.
scream, too. The scream.
Ah, click. All right.
The scream.
Everybody looking like, nigga, you just got here. Like, nah, nigga, I'm in here.
Trying to break a sweat.
Yeah.
No, I'll be working out for a long time. Sometimes it's like 2.5, 3 hours. Sometimes I'll be up there.
But you got that rhythm, that flow, and that blood is pumping.
Yeah.
I can't be there that long.
Really? Yeah.
I can't.
I freaking.
That's why I like F45. 45 minutes.
Yeah, I liked it for that.
Get
reason
in, get
too.
out.
For sure.
I don't want to be.
I didn't want to be
forever.
in there for no hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. 45
Yeah.
minutes, man. That shit is.
That is good though. 45 minutes. And
You do a
and
lot,
You can just
too.
get
Yeah.
a lot in that 45 minutes. That's,
Because they got weights. You got weights, body weights, resistance bands. It's like so much shit you do within that 45 minutes.
It changes every day.
yeah.
I
That
really miss F45, man.
Yeah. I've been going.
If y'all listening, Jameson, bro, tell somebody to invest in something on the east side.
Well, there is one, but
No, it's downtown, right?
but that's not them though.
I know it's not them, but
Yeah.
it's F45.
There is a downtown one.
Yeah, but it's not east side.
Yeah, East Side.
East side. I'm on
But you was
Charleston
just
and
we
Lamb,
was just
bro.
having this conversation though. East Side ain't built nothing new in 10 years.
That's because F45 and came down here and
Changed the culture?
They gotta spruce it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Start getting people in shape.
F45 come down here, then what's next? You got a smoothie bar next door. You know what I mean? Then,
Y'all ready to move up to Summerlin though?
I miss Southwest. I used to live on Blue Down Durango, and I miss the fuck out
Southwest
of it,
is clutch.
Oh my god, it's the best part of town.
It is good.
It's the best part of town.
But no, I feel like this was a good podcast.
This
yo.
was.
It's a good talk.
It was.
We got honest.
Enjoyed it. Yeah, we did. We
got deep.
opened up,
Yeah.
People need to hear stuff like that, though.
Yeah.
Share some common sense.
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
what would the message of this podcast be? I don't have one in my head yet.
Growth, man.
Growth?
Yeah, growth for sure.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Growth,
basically,
man.
yeah. Message of this podcast is growth, you guys.
Growth. Look within, man. See what you got going on, and
Seek within.
don't be afraid to be true to yourself and true with yourself.
Be true to yourself, like he said.
Be true to yourself, but be true with yourself.
True with yourself, like he said. Nah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. No, that's good. Yeah, and don't judge other people in different religions as well.
And also just
Yeah.
realize that, if somebody cuts you in line, hey, they just don't have. It's just the way they are. I don't know. It's not no common sense. It's just the way they are. That's the way their culture. They were raised.
All right, you guys know the social media and all that stuff. It's down below or whatever. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.